Welcome back, Sebastian here. Time for my review of the Formula 3 feature race from Belgium. So, pretty chaotic race, a lot of action, not a lot of actual racing, but nonetheless, pretty dramatic shakeup at the top of the championship standings after today's race. Started with Voisin on pole, Alex Dunn P2, and all drivers were on slick tires on a damp track that was drying up. Mixed conditions in the grid boxes, similar to yesterday, so a lot of uncertainty about who would get a better start, who would have a worse start, just as the lights go out. Montoya, good start, moves up to P2. Dunn, a bit of a tricky start, falls down to P4. And then Mini makes contact with Gauthier and spins going through turn 1, sending him to the back of the field. Voisin and Montoya both cut the runoff area at Le Combe, but no harm, no foul there. And Gauthier also gets a puncture from that contact with Lindblad. Basically looks like three cars tried to go into one, which obviously doesn't go. Lap 2, Voisin locks up going into turn 1, has a bit of a moment and almost loses the lead of the race at this point. Basically has to defend into Eau Rouge from Montoya. Lindblad, really good start for him, similar to yesterday, and he was up to 15th. Lap 2, what looks like a collision between Stenshorn and Tappinen results in the safety car, only it wasn't actually a collision from the two of them. And this was at Stavelot. It was actually two separate incidents. So first, Stenshorn basically spins, makes maybe small contact with Sophia Flörsch. Looks like Stenshorn tried to go for an ambitious overtake down the inside of Stavelot, but unfortunately makes contact with the side of Flörsch's tire and ends up going into a spin and is beached on the exit of the corner. Then immediately following that, Tappinen basically just gets hit by an AIX car of Josh Dufek, and he actually ends up going right into Stenshorn. Luckily, slow speeds and not a whole lot of damage there, but that of course brought out safety car. Lap 6, the safety car ends, and then starting lap 7, Megatunov, good restart. He overtakes Alex Dunn for P4 at Le Combe. And then we basically get one sector of racing before we're back into incidents, as Flörsch and Loke make contact, and they were basically both out at Brussels, at the Brussels hairpin. We didn't really get a great look at what happened there. Looked like perhaps Loke went a bit too ambitious going down the inside and took the pair of them out. Loke able to get going, Flörsch unfortunately beached, and her race was finished. And this brought out the safety car again. Lap 9, safety car ends, and for lap 10, Dunn has a really slow exit of turn 1, and this dropped him down the order to P10. Then, same lap, Lindblad, he is spun around at Brussels by Mansell. So again, really frustrating by Lindblad. You could see him, emoting and kind of shouting off into the distance after he got into the car there. And then Boya, who's kind of trying to avoid getting hit by Mansell and by Lindblad, ended up with a puncture, and he ends up going into the wall at turn 10. So unfortunate moment there for Boya, just trying to maneuver the car with the puncture, but unfortunately unable to do so and just ends up straight in the wall. In this, we get another safety car. So again, third safety car in 10 laps, and because the laps are so long here, you lose a lot more laps in terms of the proportion of the race, just because of that. Let's see, Boya got his puncture from Bortz at the same corner, and both of them were basically trying to avoid Mansell and Lindblad, so just unfortunate for the pair of them. And for Wirtz, he had to come into the pits for a new front wing. Lap 13, safety car ends. Lap 14, Leon, a really good run up down the Kemmel Straight, overtaking Megatunov at Le Combe for P4. Final lap of the race, Megatunov has a bit of a moment down the Kemmel Straight, but keeps it together, keeps it on the road, doesn't just go sailing off into the barriers like he easily could have done. And for Voisin, he takes the checkered flag, gets his first win in F3, and also the first win for the Rodin team since 2013, when they were basically Carlin back then, and that was Alex Lind. So interesting that, and then again another British driver breaks that win drought for that team. So a lot of action, a lot of incidents, not a whole lot of racing. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps maybe of actual green flag, and some of those were basically half laps, so really I would say 4 laps total of racing. So not really great from a racing aspect, but a lot of incidents, a lot of things to talk about. And again, very tough track, very tough conditions, so understandable with younger, inexperienced drivers that you'd be having a lot of incidents. Final result, Boyson joined on the podium by Sebastian Montoya and by Leonardo Fornaroli, who again, really good weekend for him championship-wise. 4th Leon, 5th Megatune, 6th Browning, 7th Esterson, 8th Ramos, 9th Tramitz, 10th Dunn, 11th Bogdanovich, 12th Van Hoopen, 13th Mini, again recovering from the back, and because of how many incidents there were, he was able to actually recover most of the way through the field, but unfortunately the F3 fields are so big that you're still outside the points even if you do that. 14th Mansell, 15th Dufek, 16th Wisniewski, 17th Intrapruvacek, 18th Smith, 19th Zagazeta, 20th Stuka, 21st Goche, 22nd Loke, 23rd Bedrin, 24 Shield, 25 Wirtz, and then the other 5 drivers I already mentioned, all DNF'd. Top 25 in your standings, you have a new championship leader, Leonardo Fornaroli, 129 points, leads Gabriele Mini by 1 point going into both of their home races. The final weekend for Formula 3 in 2024 will be at Monza at the beginning of September, so that's definitely one I'm going to be looking forward to. And you have 2 Italian drivers, 1st and 2nd in the championship as well. 3rd Browning, 123 points, so he really good chance as well for him to win the title. And then further back in 4th and 5th are Lindblad and Bogdanovich on 113 and 100 points respectively. 6th Mansell, 97, 7th Gauthier on 94, 8th Stoloff, 75, 9th Leon, 73, 10th Boyson moves up quite a bit in the championship with his win today, 65 points for him, 11th Tramnet, 63, 12th Van Hoopen, 54, 13th Megatunov on 53, 14th Boy on 41, 15th Montoya on 40, 16th Ramos on 35, 17th Dunn on 30, 18th Stencher on 26, 19th Bedrin on 25, 20th Smith on 12, 21st Esterson moves up as well with his points today on 11, 22nd Wirtz on 10, 23rd Wisniewski on 10, 24th Intrapruvacek on 9, and then 25th Zagazeta on 8. So there you go, there's your review of the F3 Belgium Feature Race. Pretty chaotic race, lots of incidents, like I said, not a ton of racing, but that's how these things go. Alright, I'll be back in a couple hours with my review of the F2 Feature Race. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.